come up to me all the time at the cafe and ask why we don't sell pre-ground coffee or why freshness is so critical when it comes to brewing a great cup. And look, I get it. We all want convenience. You want to stumble into your kitchen half asleep, press a button, and have liquid motivation pour into your cup without having to think too hard. But here's the thing, coffee is kind of like life. You get out what you put in. And if you're putting in stale, pre-ground coffee, well, you're gonna get a coffee that tastes like disappointment and broken dreams. So why is freshness such a big deal? Well, imagine coffee beans as a sealed bottle of fine wine, packed with complex flavors and aromas all tightly corked inside. The moment you grind those beans, you're basically popping the cork, and all those delicate compounds start escaping into the air faster than secrets at a family reunion. Suddenly, that beautifully balanced, nuanced flavor profile turns into something less inspiring. Grinding coffee isn't just about making it smaller. It's about increasing its surface area, which means more exposure to oxygen, moisture, and even light. And guess what? Oxygen is not your coffee's friend. Those delicate oils that carry all the flavor and aroma start breaking down almost immediately. It's oxidation. The same process that makes apples turn brown, only instead of just looking sad, your coffee ends up tasting like cardboard that spent too much time in the sun. But here's the twist. Freshness is key, but coffee that's too fresh can actually be kind of meh. When coffee is roasted, it releases carbon dioxide gas, and immediately brewing coffee that was roasted, say, an hour ago, means those gases are still escaping rapidly, creating uneven extraction and flavors that haven't fully developed. Ideally, coffee reaches its peak flavor between 2 to 6 weeks after roasting. It's the coffee equivalent of letting your leftovers marinate for a day instead of eating them straight out of the fridge. Sure, it's edible, but you're missing out on the magic. That being said, coffee doesn't really go bad, it's just slowly becoming less exciting. Like me. I've had coffee that was a year old and still kind of palatable. I've also had coffee that was 4 years old and tasted like old money smells. Not great, but technically still caffeinated. And let's be honest, in a post-apocalyptic world where cordyceps have taken over and you're fighting off zombies, a 4-year-old bag of coffee is probably the least of your concerns. You've definitely had worse. Think of it this way. Freshly ground coffee is like a first date, exciting, full of potential, and packed with flavor. Pre-ground coffee, on the other hand, is like a text from your ex at 2 a.m., stale, disappointing, and a reminder of poor decisions. That's why we always grind our coffee right before brewing, to make sure you get every bit of flavor at its peak. Now, let's talk about grind size, because it's kind of a big deal. Grind size is like the Goldilocks of coffee brewing. It has to be just right. If you grind coffee too fine for something like a French press, you'll over-extract the coffee, pulling out too many bitter flavors and making it taste like regret. Grind too coarse for, say, espresso, and you'll under-extract, leaving you with a weak, watery mess that barely registers as coffee. It's kind of like cooking a steak. You wouldn't slap a thick ribeye on the grill for 30 seconds and expect perfection, right? Just like steak thickness determines cooking time, grind size should match your brewing method to extract all the delicious flavors without the bitterness. For example, espresso needs a fine grind because the brewing process is quick and intense. High pressure, short time, lots of flavor in a little shot. Meanwhile, a French press takes its sweet time, steeping for several minutes, so a coarse grind is the way to go. It's all about finding that perfect balance. And let's not forget grind consistency. If you're using a cheap blade grinder, you're basically playing coffee roulette. Some grounds are fine, some are coarse, and your cup ends up tasting like a chaotic mess of flavors. A good burr grinder, like the ones we use here, ensures each coffee particle is uniform, giving you even extraction and a consistently delicious cup every time. Choosing the right grind size isn't just about making coffee that tastes good, it's about respecting the bean. Whether it's a bright, floral Ethiopian or a rich, chocolatey Sumatran, each bean has a story to tell. And the grind size helps us showcase those unique characteristics the right way. Let's also not forget the water. Water temperature, water quality, even water to coffee ratio all play a part in how your cup turns out. Using water that's too hot can scorch your grounds, while water that's too cool won't extract enough flavor. And if your water tastes like chlorine, or worse, pennies from the bottom of a wishing well, you can bet it's going to mess with the final taste of your brew. And then there's the brewing time, another crucial piece of the puzzle. Letting coffee sit too long in contact with water can result in over-extraction, giving you a bitter, mouth-puckering cup. Too short, and you're left wondering if you're actually drinking flavored water. So the next time you're tempted to buy pre-ground coffee, just remember, freshness matters. It's the difference between a vibrant, flavorful cup and a sad, lifeless brew that tastes like disappointment. We grind fresh because we care about your coffee experience and because life's too short for bad coffee. I'm Jonathan Echeverry, and this was Curious Coffee.